All right, folks. Apologies. Our amazing intro doesn't work. Rebecca and I were just saying maybe we should just start saying Rovo, the Rovo games. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's
Yes, indeed.
that's
Next
it.
time.
Next time. Next time, Sajit and I and our guest will perform a live rendition of it in recompense. Anyway, I want to welcome you all back. My name is Rob. It's been a hot second since we've done a Rovo Games. Team got in the way and then life popped up. So thank you all for coming back. We do have a wonderful guest who maybe you've seen before. So I'll let this wonderful person say hi and introduce themselves, and then we'll talk about our game.
Hello, hello. I'm Rebecca. I've been part of the Rovo Games episode in March, I think. I was on holiday back then. I'm back. I've been busy running Rovo sessions in the community and rolling out Rovo for some enterprise customers. So I've learned new stuff. I'm excited for the new questions, see if I can answer them all. Last time I failed quite a few. So let's do this.
And I love this round, Rebecca, because you provided a bunch of questions that I hadn't seen.
I did.
Yeah, which I absolutely love because I was saying earlier, I get writer's block. Sajit and I have been doing this for almost 6 months. And I keep sitting down to write questions and I keep not coming up with good ideas. So it was great to have someone new contribute their expertise and their perspective.
So a lot of the questions actually stem from a summary I did for the community of all the Rovo announcements from and around team. So if you've not seen this, I'll look up the link and post it into the chat maybe. Because it's a lot. A lot has happened. A lot is rolling out at the moment. So yeah, a lot of stuff for new questions.
And that is a great point, Rebecca. There are so many updates and changes and things happening in Rovo that even for folks who use it all the time or consult with it are still tripping over new stuff. So even in our brief chat right before this, I was like, what? That's a thing?
Yeah.
So hopefully we can share some of that knowledge here, Rebecca.
We'll try.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, folks. We also have another, I'll call it modification this time. We had some hiccups with our usual platform, StreamYard. So we're going to be using the built-in YouTube polls. Now, I'm going to put a quick sample poll just so people can get warmed up. What does Rovo stand for?
Type. So that's actually an interesting one because I'm running an internal quiz on Friday. That's why I've got a lot of questions at the moment as well. And he actually came up with a question where the name comes from. And
Ooh.
I was like, he clearly must have just imagined these answers. That's not a thing. But I found the original blog post explaining it. So he was right.
Oops, and I have to spell vote properly. But you'll see polls like this one. I quickly made this up. Respond with a 1 or a 2 or a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. You don't have to put the number sign in front. Every question will only have one correct answer because you can't answer multiple things. And if you're on the vertical stream, a part of me will be covered up by this thing. Charlene, if you put the question marks after, unfortunately won't see it. So just the number. But we'll use this as our chat or as our poll. Unfortunately, we can't track who the winner is this round. So this is more just amusement for everyone and learning. Devya thinks it's a really organized virtual object. I was proud of myself for coming up with that one on the fly. And it sounds a little bit technical.
It does.
So, yep. Jonathan, what would your name be, or what does it stand for to you, my friend? You said a 2, which is other. So only see options 1 and 3. Interesting. Oh, we got you, Charlene. Now, this question only has 2, but we'll do 4 for everything else.
I would certainly argue that Rovo is not necessarily organized, but it's getting there.
All right, so this is how the polling will work. You'll just respond to the 1, 2, 3, or 4 in chat. Rebecca will do our best to banter in chat as we're going. There is a little bit of a delay when you chat and when we see it, so we'll give you a little bit extra time. And Rebecca and I will also be kind of elucidating everyone around the questions, and that's a big word that I only know a little bit about. But we'll be talking about it and sharing more knowledge around the question, the answer, and why we think it is that. So I'm going to get rid of this sample question. What does Rovo stand for? And it's a 50-50 split. really organize virtual object and other things. But Rebecca, at the end, maybe you could share that link with your knowledge of the actual name.
Yeah, I need to see if I can find that link again. But it actually stands for nothing. It's not an abbreviation. Apparently, it stems from the Mars rover. Yeah, there's a bit of an explanation in that blog about it. I thought it was not super creative, but hey.
My problem with it, if I've talked to Gemini, like the other AI, and I say Rovo and here's Robo,
Yeah.
like it has problems with the V sound.
Yeah, it does. But again, Loom and other AI stuff don't really recognize any specific terms. Even Jira and Confluence don't really work. Another interesting discussion I would like to open up. Do we caps lock Rovo like we did Jira? But Jira is not caps locked anymore. So do we actually just say capital R and then Rovo? Or do we caps lock everything? That would be an interesting discussion. I'm not sure. I don't think it is capitalized in official blogs and everything, but I've seen it around the community a lot.
Huh. I've always done lowercase. Another quick random poll to practice, folks. Should it be Rovo or just Rovo? I always say it Rovo, like a proper noun, but I like the full caps lock.
Yeah, I think the official terminology around Atlassian is not caps locked anymore. But we see it with Jira as well, right?
That's fair. And I thought Jira was an acronym when I first used it because everyone fully caps locked it.
Do you know where that name comes from, though?
Go Jira!
Yeah. That's a popular question that I think Sven Peters had in his community quiz. When he taught some Atlassian communities, he always did a quiz. I think that was one of the questions.
That one I love, especially telling folks who are new to Jira or unfamiliar. They're like, wait, really? I'm like, yeah, bug stomping. Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like Jonathan's point here. Sorry, he asked Rovo, how do I say the name?
It's still thinking, probably.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we have this clear, I would say 2-1.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. 50-50 now. Oh, no. I jinxed it.
We'll bring this one back in future episodes, folks. Yeah. We'll let the folks fight it out. Oh, no. But we're going to switch over to our official questions. We've got 3 major sections. The first we call straight out of context. So this will be stuff that kind of relates to AI or Rovo. Maybe it might be around a prompt or something. But it's going to give us some context. And right as soon as I ended the poll, people went back to 50-50. So we'll bring that back later. Here's our first question. And I've got a little drum roll. And let me know if this is too loud.
Ooh, that's perfect.
All right. I guess I'll read this one off. I didn't prep folks, which is not a way to get to the teamwork graph manually at teamworkgraph.com, the teamwork graph API, using the Atlassian Rovo MCP, or using the teamwork graph CLI. What's not a way?
So lots of abbreviations. We've had some discussions around this in the community, and there's been quite a few questions in the online community as well. Because Atlassian is not quite clear with the terminology on this one. So we've had discussions about it being called just Atlassian or Atlassian Rovo or just Rovo. And then now there's been some new announcements at Team. But I've seen internal documentation that some customer success manager provided where there's a whole new word for it and it actually means the same. So I thought there's about 10 options. But at the moment, I believe there's only 3. So one's wrong here.
I'm laughing because right before this, Rebecca was describing all this to me. And I was like, sorry, what? Say that again. There's just so many MCP, CLIs, whatevers. All right. We'll give folks another moment to answer again, which is not a way to get to the teamwork graph.
So far, they're all quite set on 1.
Very set on 1. Well, Oh, Venkat's coming in from the high ropes with the Atlassian Rovo MCP. But Devia's going for that teamworkgraph.com. All right, folks, we're gonna stop this poll. We're gonna freeze it in, lock in your answers in 3, 2, 1.
All right.
I think it's a bit of a mislead, a misdirect, because it's really number 2. There's no Teamwork Graph API.
Yep. So at Team, they announced and showed the new website, teamworkgraph.com, where you can log in and you can actually see your own teamwork graph. I would hope that it's not the full graph, so you probably only see a small section of it because you don't have all the edges. But yeah, it's a real website. You can access your own graph there. And with it, they also announced the Teamwork Graph CLI. And we've already had that before, the Atlassian Rovo MCP. And again, there's a few different things circling around. It once was called Atlassian MCP, and then it was called Rovo MCP, and now it's Atlassian Rovo MCP. It's all the same thing, as to my current information. And you have actually Teamwork Graph guilds now available there. They've been added recently, and you can use the Rovo search for Jira and Confluence. That was a thing it could do from the beginning. But there's no API for the Teamwork Graph. You've got your regular Atlassian Cloud API, but nothing Teamwork Graph specific yet anyway.
Yeah, this, like, looking at teamworkgraph.com to me is just fun. And I didn't realize, I've been telling people, you can't look at it, but you can. This is a demo instance I have. But it's like everything I've done in there and what Rovo can see. So this is just fun to explore, and then you can kind of like dig around. How do all these things connect? And in a real environment, I'm sure this is a lot more interesting. But it's a fun thing to go look at and just see, how does this all, whoa. What all is in here? So yeah, there's no API, which to me was also surprising. Like, I would have probably guessed at this question if I wasn't staring at the answers on my other screen.
Yeah, no API yet, just your regular Atlassian Cloud API.
All right, next question, and this one's over to you, Rebecca.
So what can Rovo not do in the context of whiteboards? Can it not create a new one? Does it not draw freehand? Does it not recognize patterns or trends? Or does it not create diagrams in the context of whiteboards? You're using whiteboards regularly?
Very frequently. The first time I saw the Create with Rovo, it was, I'm going to stop talking. I use whiteboards quite a bit. Just because they're great for like visually mapping stuff. I do a lot of systems diagrams in them. Like, to me, it's at the time, especially when it started, a very lightweight replacement. I was paying for other stuff. But now it's got more in there, and I love the connection to Jira to visualize things. Oh, wow, we were getting 2s straight down the line. Anyone else? Any other guesses, folks?
Does it not connect to the poll, though?
Because we're not poll not updating? What?
Oh, well.
We can see people voting. It should update.
Yeah, I think the strongest feature of it is if you connect sections to Jira. So you can connect sections. So when you pull in Jira work items, which you can just import straight away as well, you can update certain fields. So if you organize your backlog, you can pull items into a sprint, or you can update their priority or their assignee or whatever you want to do. So I think that's really powerful. I'm still sort of missing external collaboration features where they cannot just collaborate, which they've added probably last year, I think, but with different permissions, because you don't necessarily want them to set the timer or delete stuff. So I think that's a major feature that's still missing in order for it to replace Mural and Concept Board and the likes.
And that granularity of permissions, that we can continue this discussion as we go, is something that, from my perspective, is lacking in many aspects. We had this discussion about Jira the other day. You and I were just talking about it in terms of agents. I'm going to stop this poll and see if we can make it show the answers. And we can't. But just looking at the chat, most people were guessing draw freehand. So what's the correct answer, Rebecca?
Draw freehand, yeah. So if you open Rovo chat on a whiteboard. So you've got a whiteboard opened, you just open Rovo. You can actually have it analyze your whiteboard in terms of patterns. So that's one of these conversation starters. It can create new diagrams. There's a new mind map feature, fairly new. And with Create with Rovo or through chat, you can also create completely fresh whiteboards. It cannot draw yet.
No, sadly. Yet.
I asked it to draw a cow. It didn't work. It actually gave me the answer that it could try to do it in ASCII, like an ASCII draw. And it did that in chat, but I did not went far enough to have it on the whiteboard itself.
To be fair, I probably couldn't draw a cow either, Rebecca.
Well.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully this question will work. What happens with the thumb when the thumbs up and thumbs down button you give in chat? So there's a little thumbs up, thumbs down. What happens when you push it? It gets sent to Atlassian. It will be sent to the agent's owner. I can't fit the R in. It trains third-party models, and it's used for Rovo's memory.
Yeah, just some more context. If you chat with an agent, otherwise number 2 doesn't make sense.
Thank you.
So if you chat with an agent and you give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, what happens with the answer?
Now, this one, there are 2 possible correct answers. So we'll chat about those as we go. And again, I can't allow the multi-select in YouTube. Thank you, YouTube gods, for that. But answer a 1 through 4 in the chat on what you think happens when you push thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, I'd argue if this was a certification question, there would only be one answer. That's correct, because it's down to the details.
Okay, we'll discuss what I think I know what you're talking about. We'll talk about that after folks have a chance to answer. Sajid is saying my mind could use a mind map. Or sorry, not Sajid is saying that.
Not Sajid. Is there a Sajid and a not Sajid?
I don't know. Not
with
Sajid.
2 accounts.
Yeah, is there a Sajid in here? I haven't seen one yet.
So yeah, there's been some evolution to this feature. I say that much. So it used to be one thing. Now it works slightly different. And originally, I can talk about that already. The thumbs up was sent to Atlassian straight away. And there was one employee sitting there, and that was Jensen. And she got all the feedback in a queue and reviewed it manually. So that's a fun little thing to know. I hope that there's more people reviewing it now.
I can just imagine Jensen sitting there going, another one. Okay,
yeah.
All right, folks, we're starting to see a slowdown. I'm going to stop this particular poll. 50% of us think it gets sent to Atlassian. 38% say third-party models. What do you think, Rebecca?
So actually, nobody voted for the correct answer. So if you chat to an agent, the thumbs up, thumbs down will actually result in feedback to the agent owner. So there's new Rovo Agent Insights. Maybe you can pop that up. If you go into Studio, into your random agent and go into Insights, you can actually see that. So we get the number of thumbs up and thumbs down for a specific agent. But there's still the option to send feedback to Atlassian as well. And that's sort of the default behavior you have in normal chat. So in normal chat, because there's no owner, it will be sent to Atlassian if you agree to it. But for agents, hoping you're on the updated version already where you can see that. And it's loading, hopefully.
Come on, Studio.
So it's like in the bottom right corner, that one, that's the thumbs up, thumbs down. Feedback thing if it's loading. Sometimes it takes a while.
If it's loading.
Yeah.
I did notice.
Sorry, yeah, if you people go into your own agents, you should be able to see it if you're on one of the newest updates.
I have noticed that in there, and it's good to see more exposure to analytics in Rovo. Like we can actually see what people think of it now.
Yeah.
If it loads.
Well, so that's one of the new features. It's not used to improve third-party models. That's something that Atlassian is explicitly saying in their trust documents. But yeah, it may still be sent to Atlassian if you agree to that.
All right. We got one more question in this section, and this is over to you, Rebecca.
Which of these is not a Rovo app available in the app switcher? Is it search? Is it agent? Is it chat? Or is it studio? So for anyone who's not familiar, the app switcher is the four squares in the upper left corner, where you can switch between Jira and Confluence and all your other Atlassian apps. And with Rovo, there were 3 new apps introduced there. So which one has not been introduced as their own app? Search, agent, chat, or studio?
And this is one that was new to me, Rebecca, because I missed this announcement like I miss most announcements. And I actually went and looked. I was like, oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah. So I think it was slightly confusing if you looked at the marketing material. I mean, this announcement is, I think, 1.5 years old or something, because it was like the original sort of Rovo announcement once it was GA anyway. And you would also always have these app logos in there, and then other logos around it. But I always found it quite confusing because for me, the main features are search, agent, and chat. But when you look at the apps delivered, it may be a different answer.
It might be. All right, folks, I'll give you another moment or so. Most of us, as soon as I'm talking, someone else votes. Most of us so far think studio is not part of the app switcher, and a couple folks for agent. All right, I'm going to shut down voting, so make sure you get your votes in. All right, so which one is it, Rebecca?
So there's no agent app because agents are part of Studio. So there is a separate chat app, there's a separate search app, but there's no separate agent app because agents either show up as people in the people directory or the teams directory. That's the sort of agent profile. And then if you actually want to create agents or edit agents, that's part of the Studio app.
Yep, and this was new to me because I didn't realize search and chat were their own app now.
Yeah, they have been for forever.
They're all gray. They all blend in, Rebecca.
To be honest, I've never used them once, but they are their own app.
What do they even look like? Okay.
It looks the search one is similar to if you have Rovo Desktop or the Rovo browser extension.
Yep.
And you just have this sort of start page.
Oh, and this is similar to Create with Rovo.
Yeah, this is basically just a full screen of your chat. Not much else.
And it did load.
There you go. There you go.
Score.
Yeah, no thumbs down or up for you, but it does appear there.
Straight line, meh. All right, that was the last of our straight out of context. Now we're going into fact, feature, or fiction. So every question will have one of those 3 answers. What did we make up? What is true? And what it might be coming soon. Did I get all these right? Oh, I made mistakes. I got to quickly fix this.
Oh, did you say fact or feature?
Yes.
Which is basically the same.
I made it stupid. I was very stupid.
So it's feature, future, or fiction.
It is not fact, feature, fiction. Excuse me while I drink some more coffee. Okay, fact, future, feature, or fiction. Rovo can detect and block sensitive data in chat in real time. Is this a future thing that Atlassian has announced it is coming? Is this a feature that exists today, or is this a fiction, something that Rebecca, Sajit, and I maybe made up for this? What do y'all think? A 1, 2, or 3 for your vote? And I will go fix all the other questions because they all say fact. Now, this is one, like, finding sensitive stuff for me is one great use case of Rovo. With my background, like I've been at pre-IPO companies that went IPO, and I was the sacrificial lamb that got to go work with compliance and all the auditors to go find all the stuff. And I would have a tool that helped me find that would have been so nice.
Yeah.
Manually crawling through Confluence or whatever is just painful.
So, I mean, that's something that already works, just using basically Rovo search to find certain paraphrase stuff. But this is about chat. So people type into chat, which currently is not visible to any admin, nor Atlassian, unless you share this specific part of the history with Atlassian. But will Rovo be able to actually see sensitive data there and report it or redact it or whatever it does?
All right. So far, most of us are saying future. Yeah, we're dogpiling on future. No one thinks we made this up. Come on, we're creative. I'll give folks
That's
another
actually
moment.
something I wish we made up. They're currently working on a feature. I don't think it's part of the question, so I think I can talk about it. Where agent owners will get insights into actual conversations with the agent, which I think is interesting. So certainly helpful to improve an agent, but it sort of goes against everything we've put into approvals for Rovo, where we say nobody can access the chat contents. So
that's okay. I'll stop this poll and we'll go. No, I'll just, the CSM, customer service management, has that because it's entirely an automated response in the CSM agents.
yeah,
Humans can observe and monitor. Interesting to see that they might yank it into general Rovo.
because I mean, for CSM, it makes sense because before Rovo, it would have landed in a request that agents have access to anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in there, you can argue that that makes sense. But yeah, they're actually working on that feature. So it's future. Again, I would argue that this question is quite difficult for certification because it's not Rovo itself. It will be part of Atlassian Guard or Atlassian Detect, which is a Atlassian Guard premium feature. So it will not be rolled out to everyone. That's what I understand.
Yeah. There's always that fun little asterisk along with SSO. No. We're going to put it in Guard.
Yeah. And the detect features, basically what you've talked about, using Rovo to find sensitive data, that's the Guard detect feature where you have regex to say find credit card data, find passwords or things like that. But they will actually apply this to chat as well. That's what I understand from that.
All right. Well, we have until Q4 before those of us on Guard get to see it. So.
Yep.
All right. Our next future feature and fiction. Over to you, Rebecca.
Rovo has explicit and implicit memory.
What? Okay. What do those words mean? I know memory. What's the difference between explicit and implicit, though?
So implicit memory is basically what Rovo knows about you already based on the data you have in the apps. Because circling back to the teamwork graph, Rovo already knows quite a lot about you. It knows who you're working with, what you're working on, what you should work on next. And based on the interactions you have with the apps and with the data, there's some things that Rovo may be able to answer about you. Also, you have a people profile and you work within teams and things like that. And then explicit memory would be something that you explicitly tell Rovo about you, which is not part of the data. So my grandma is called Emma or something like that. Would be something I could tell Rovo. Not sure if that's helpful, but
I was using Rovo to help. I forget what I was building, but I mentioned, oh, my friend Emily has approved this idea, and that got stuck in Rovo's memory. And it said, well, using Emily's approved idea, we're going to do blank, blank, blank. And this was like 4 conversations later, and I was like, how do I get that out of there? That was a bit of a joke.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right, most people think it's a feature. We've got a future and a fiction group, though. All right, so we're going to close this out and see what the answer is, Rebecca.
It is a feature. It should have been rolled out to most sites now. And maybe you can show it to exit. We've checked earlier. There's no memories on on Europe on that site, but
this is a different site.
Maybe it's good. Yeah. Okay. So you go into chat and then go onto the 3 dots, and you can go into manage memory, and you will see the implicit memory, so Rovo's observations about you, and you will see that that's mainly based on what you work on. So for me, it says I work a lot on Rovo governance, and I like long ass conference pages blog posts and I like to work on details and stuff like that. I don't know. I've not read the whole thing, but basically, how do you work with the tools and what do you prefer and what's your role? But you can also share information directly, which would be the explicit memory, which is in the second tab. So there you could say that Emma approves all your ideas, or she's your grandma. I've done some testing around this, so this is still quite new. They announced this at Team, and it's only just been rolled out. And I've took 3 different sites and switched off the company knowledge in chat, so it was basically just plain Rovo chat. And on one side, I've had the explicit memory that I like short answers, and on the other 2, I did not prompt this into the memory, and I've given it the same task. I think, like, tell me about Rovo, or what is Rovo, or something like that. And I got Gen AI typical different answers, so they were not all structured the same, but they were all quite similar in length. So I couldn't really see how that specific memory has actually improved the result for me. But I guess there's some more testing to do. But the first test wasn't too convincing.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what Rovo thinks of you. Like, just reading this. Okay, yeah, I use this as a demo environment. So fitness, pizza, product feedback, whatever. And we were talking earlier, like, I'm a solopreneur. I work by myself. I don't have the luxury of a big group of people. I'd be curious what someone who actually uses this at a larger company, more than one person, sees. Because that perception of you, like the concept of context came up basically every other word at Team. And this seems like it's part of it. How Rovo, what Rovo knows about us or thinks about us will impact how it could operate. But if your testing is kind of like, maybe they just added the feature and they're waiting to see how it works.
Well, to be honest, I'm not quite sure how long it takes for the memory to take effect as well.
Gotcha.
And as per usual, there's not a lot of documentation on how the feature works. There is a documentation on it, at least, how to set the memories and everything. But yeah, we just have to wait and see how it actually works. So we depend on you, community, to share your experience for us to actually understand these features a little bit better.
All right. Next, future fiction or feature. Rovo agents can run autonomously and perform actions from within automation flows. Is this a future?
Nope. Do you still hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can't hear you anymore. Not sure.
Oh, no.
If that's my issue or yours.
All right, chat, I need your help. Could you respond in chat with a thumbs up or something?
Nope.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Thank you, Venkit. Rebecca, can you hear me? All right, looks like Rebecca's troubleshooting, folks, but can Rovo agents autonomously perform actions on their own within automation flows? And as a reminder, automation rules are gone. There are no more automation rules. They were removed. They're now just called automation flows, which I had a lot of fun with the team, confusing the heck out of basically everybody. Everyone's going feature. No guesses for future or fiction. And Rebecca's furiously working with her in-house IT team to figure things out. Venkit saying, I have a doubt around this. I need clarification. Can you hear me now, my friend? Oh, no. We can hear you. All right, this one hopefully Rebecca can help respond, but I'm going to stop the voting on this one. Oh, I'm going to kick Rebecca out and have her rejoin and just see if that fixes it. All right, this one I learned is actually There we go. How
That's
about
better.
now? Okay. You're back just in time to save me. Everyone thinks this is a feature.
It's actually future. So I'm part of the EAP. Well, you could argue it's a feature already, but it's not rolled out publicly yet. So currently, Rovo agents behave in automations differently than they do in chat because they actually cannot run any of their skills or tools. So they only give you a chat answer, which is saved in smart value, and then you need to take that answer and use it in ifs and else and comment or whatever. But you actually have to put in separate actions into the automation for the automation to do anything. So if you just put in use agent, it will not do anything other than giving back that smart value. But with the autonomous agents, that will change. So they will be able to use all their skills and actions. And with that, they introduced agent accounts. So agent accounts are not users and are not service accounts. They're a whole different thing.
They're a third account. Yep.
Third account. And you can give it app access and you can give it space access specifically. Because currently the Rovo agent always runs with whoever's permission has added it. So if I create an automation, add a Rovo agent, it will use my connection and permissions. So I, as an admin, have access to everything. Hence, the Rovo agent will have access to everything in theory, unless it's limited in its knowledge. So with the agent accounts, it will give an agent constant access to knowledge, regardless of who triggers the rule or who added the agent into a rule. So I think that's quite exciting.
So similar to a service account in that it's a separate access, but it's not a human.
Yeah. But it will act as itself, and it will do autonomously things.
Like I think before we were chatting, like MCP servers feel like they're just the new API. It feels like agent accounts are just the new service account, like similar concept. We could almost copy and paste them, almost.
Well, kind of.
Oh, maybe not.
Because service accounts you can't really use inside the tools. You can only use for external connection. Whereas agent accounts are running inside the tools.
Gotcha. Yeah, this one for me, folks, also confused me because I'm like, yeah, you can use Rovo inside automations, but it's the thing to keep in mind is it just gives you a text string, which you could pass a JSON object back and do a lot of fun stuff with branching off of that. But this update will give us skills within the automation.
Yeah.
All right, this is our last future feature fiction. Rebecca, over to you.
Rovo can create training videos in Loom based on your Confluence knowledge base. As a future feature of fiction, can it create Loom videos?
Ooh.
That would be helpful.
I would love that. Although I'll be honest, my happy space, like my OCD, my flow state is building training content. Like I'll just zone out. I'm like, yeah, I've got this.
Yeah. I mean, there's other AIs that can do it, creating videos. So
why not Rovo?
Why not Rovo? Certainly would push Loom to a broader audience.
Yes, take this document and create a even my when I first moved to the Bay Area, the first job I had was consulting for a platform called IFS. And one of the products we had was I think called ClickLearn at the time. Yeah, but it was it would record all your clicks and then convert that into a video. And I was like, this is magic. It would overlay on the screen and like have arrows and a little dude pointing at stuff. I'm like, this is great because I don't have to keep re-recording these videos. And you could re-record it and it would update based on new screenshots. And that was 12 years ago. EventKit's saying definitely not a feature. Ouch. All right, I'll give folks just another moment before we pause this and just learn, is this a future, I keep wanting to say fact, future, feature, or fiction? I don't know why I can't talk today. I apologize.
It's your category as well. I've not come up with it.
That's true. Under the bus. Thanks, Rebecca.
Unless it was to cheat, but...
I'm the one on screen, so you can blame me. All right, so which one is it, my friend?
So I've not heard about it, so I believe it's fiction, unless I've overseen some announcement.
It is a fiction as far as we know. And again, I'll put an asterisk there because to Rebecca's point, maybe tomorrow there's this amazing new feature. But as of now, Rovo itself cannot make the training videos. Rovo can convert a video into a Confluence page, but we can't go the other way yet.
Yep.
And like we were saying, like I would love that because there's so many SOPs and like how-tos that are just written out. Imagine just being able to push a button and Rovo goes records it all.
Mhm.
And then you can just tweak it and finalize it.
Yeah, I think this is probably a limitation based on the models that Atlassian is using, because we've seen that Atlassian usually sort of is behind a few months when it comes to model selection. There's actually been an announcement, I've not double checked, but I've seen it on LinkedIn, that Rovo will be able to create images from chat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one step closer to videos, I guess.
Maybe make multiple images in like a flip book.
Yeah, but yeah, that would be really helpful. I mean, I've looked at Loom and I found some good use cases, but I couldn't convince anyone else to actually buy the full license for the whole company yet.
All right. That's not an uncommon challenge. Like individuals find it super useful, but getting it to the group.
Mhm.
And how do you enable the enterprise really to dig
Yeah.
in?
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're shifting gears. We're out of future fiction or feature, and we're into AI 101, artificial intelligence 101. What is the original name of the Turing test? This was a test devised to determine if a human operator cannot tell a machine apart from a human, it passes. So if you're just chatting with something and you can't tell is it human or machine, it's past the what we now call Turing test. So drop your answers 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which one is it?
See, I've not heard about the test with the name actually, but we've had a student that did a master thesis. I think 2 years back already, where she created process diagrams with AI and then manually. And she had a survey where we had to decide whether it's AI generated or not. So we basically did the Turing test on it.
Yeah, I love that.
And I think we failed miserably.
This was originally suggested back in 1950 by Alan Turing. It's like, and again, a few episodes ago, we spoke about how old is AI, artificial intelligence. The term is like from 1956. The concept, though, is much older.
Yeah.
So the fact that people were thinking about this almost 80 years ago, before we had anything like what we call AI now, to me is always fascinating.
And on that point, if we look at Atlassian and how they define AI, I find it quite confusing because they say you can disable AI features, but it's actually mainly LLM features you can disable because depending on your definition, the Rovo search, which cannot be disabled, is still sort of AI.
And that's
So,
like, yeah, you can turn off AI, but parts of Rovo still work. But Rovo's AI.
well, Rovo itself is the platform. Because Rovo has the Studio app and the Search app,
so
as we've learned.
Yep. And but like the challenge there is like you and I know that because we're deep into this. 99.9% of people just know, oh, Rovo is AI, and they don't get that nuance, and that makes it like, how do we bridge that gap?
And Atlassian doesn't even nuance it on administration level. So
no, it's all just there. All right, everyone is just saying one. This is also the name of the movie, The Imitation Game. So if you saw the movie, it was originally called The Imitation Game. Can a machine imitate a human sufficiently to fool another human? Oddly, the laws of robotics that Asimov suggested, someone has added one that a machine must always distinguish itself from a human to prevent this from happening. That's just a fun little side fact, but everyone who responded nailed it. It is called The Imitation Game. Another AI question. Rebecca, over to you.
Google's DeepMind AI defeated the world champion. I guess it's world champion of this game in
Rob, fire the intern.
2016. So Google's DeepMind AI defeated the world champion of this game in 2016.
I guess I'm not even going to defend that. Which game did Google's AI defeat?
See, as a non-native speaker, I wouldn't even know what the difference between chess and checkers is, to be honest. Like, I thought that's the same.
I was trying to pick games that are more global. Chess is the one of like the king, the knights, the pawn. Checkers in the States, same board, is just flat pieces, and they can move one space. You capture by jumping.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, and you have to move forward. When you get to the back row of the other side, you can king or queen the piece, and then it can move anywhere. All right, DeepMind. People are saying chess. One person has said Go. Go is, I believe, a Chinese strategy game considered to be more complicated than chess. There are more moves in. Sorry,
that's like roundish thingies that look like stones, more like.
Literally stones, like white or black stones. I think the board is 10 by 10, and you put your pieces on the intersections. There's more possible games of Go apparently than atoms in the observable universe. So complex. All right, I'll give folks just another minute. 3/4 of us think chess. What would you have answered, Rebecca, just out of curiosity?
I actually know the answer to that. Because I've read the article back then, I think. I was already in uni at that point, so I guess it came up in some lecture.
Which one is it then?
So it's Go. And I believe chess, that was way back when computers were better than the world champion. My colleague does a presentation on that, but I can't remember the year. But I think like early 2000s, if not 90s.
Already. Yeah, I think I don't think we have nope, we have a different question on a different AI. It's a Deep Blue that solved chess first. And that's interesting because you see the differing complexity. We think of chess as a really complex game, but it took significantly longer to solve Go. It was thought of for a while as being unsolvable. It was just too complicated for a computer. Nope. All right, Rebecca, over to you. Another AI 101.
What do we call the instructions provided to AI? Is it inputs? Is it requests? Is it prompts? Or is it instructions?
Instructions. This is what happens when I type too fast.
So we have folks answer that. Terminology is really quite a thing in Atlassian, because I'm not sure if you've noticed the shift from actions to skills to tools.
I saw actions
not
to
even sure if you can
skills.
say it like that. So way back there was forge actions, which are available in chat agents and then also in automations. And I think the official documentation still calls it action, but this actually are now skills. And there's also tools now with the newest EAP. So I've had a look at that, where a tool is basically what a skill is at the moment in an agent. So create a page, comment on a work item, read a Jira issue, whatever, like all the lists that you can select in agents. These are now tools, whereas skills are already available in chat. And a skill is a selection of tools, basically combined with instructions. So a skill is more complex than a single tool. And there's actually an announcement that we will be able to build our own skills from Rovo chat. So we can just call the create skill and then be able to prompt.
Stop it.
So now I gave the answer to actually prompt that one skill, and then that will be available to all agents and automation and everything. So yeah, it's called prompt. But in Rovo agents, it's called instructions.
Yes.
So the agent has instructions, but if you call the agent in a chat, you prompt the agent to do something.
That was another like mind melting when you're explaining API, CLI, MCP, and how they're all slightly different. I'm sure it'll settle in my brain eventually, but there's tools and skills. Skills are collections of tools,
Yeah.
and tools are the more granular things, but skills are collections or constellations of skills. And
but what's now called skill in agent will be called tool, and then what would be called skill is already a skill in chat. So, and then actions are gone apparently.
Right out. Okay. All right, folks. We have our last question. Which AI defeated Jeopardy champions, multiple champions, in 2011? This is 15 plus years ago. Which one of these AI defeated Jeopardy champions? Bonus points if you know the champion. I don't know the champion, or rather, I never followed Jeopardy. So
I was going to say I think that show was not airing anymore when I watched TV. I think it came back now. At least in Germany, there was some like old formats that came back revised.
That's one that I remember watching as a kid in the States, like a sick day, a snow day from school, like Jeopardy's on daytime TV and it runs for like 3 hours straight. Or Wheel of Fortune, like those game shows that we have in the States. I would just have them on in the background.
Yeah, they were like early 90s, right?
Jeopardy?
Like even older, some of them.
Yeah, how old is Jeopardy? I think Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune are older than we think. Jeopardy started in 1964. Whoa.
And ran until when?
It's still running.
Oh, okay. Well, it stopped in Germany. So there's like a few of these TV shows that Germany adopted have not run in forever. And then they came back a few years ago, like Wheel of Fortune and things like that. But basically, when I watched a lot of regular TV, they were not on air.
Gotcha.
Because I'm born 1997, so I missed all of the fun times.
I'm so old. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm so old now. It's Watson. Folks got it. It's Watson. As I have an existential crisis. Yes, Watson was the name of the AI. I almost put Sherlock just to see if I could throw people. All right,
IBM, not really part of the AI game now, right?
No, they were early stage, like mainframe. What I call mainframe computing. I'd be curious what I think of the original players like IBM, how they're still involved in the AI game. I imagine it's more on the research side, like less the consumer products, because a lot of the current focus is on the Anthropics, the open AIs that are doing the B2C, right?
Yeah.
Like what can the masses use compared to what do research labs or large industry need? And there are different use cases in my mind, similar tool. But you're right, like IBM is not vanished, but it's definitely running in the shadows.
Yeah, we're not really hearing from them anyway. I think we have one question in the chat. Should we get back to that?
I'll go dig it up right here.
Yeah, that one. So do we have any agent use cases in context of service management? Is what I'm reading from there. So yes, I actually have some agents almost resolving some requests automatically. I'm currently running them in shadow mode, where I'm just watching what they would do until I put them live. So for this enterprise I work with, not everyone gets Rovo agent permissions. So we have a request type where they fill in a form, and it's basically a quiz, and we validate that with an automation. But they also have to provide the Rovo fundamentals certificate, and I've got a Rovo agent that checks that certificate, if it has the correct name and if it's the correct certificate and if it's sort of up to date. And that agent will run autonomously at some point. So we don't have to check these requests anymore, but we would just assign them the permission automatically. That's the idea.
Yeah, having agents run as like an assignee, etc., like that to me is fascinating. And you and I were briefly talking earlier. I'm alone in this room. I don't have a big instance, so I can put an agent in as an assignee, but why? Like I have to think through my own use cases. So it's great to hear how folks are actually using this stuff in an actual environment.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the question, Joe.
Yeah, and then also if you have agents answering based off of the knowledge base, it's always a good idea to have agents organizing your knowledge base. So suggesting new articles, checking for duplicates and things like that. There's a lot of native skills already available for this, but you could also create your own agent that has more specific inputs.
Got one more question here from Venkat.
Fate to generate response. Yeah, sometimes it takes too long, so the automation doesn't really wait for it. So I've seen that quite a lot, but it's been a while since I've seen that error message popping up frequently. Sometimes it just doesn't have access to the right data. I would always give it the specifics in the prompt. So if you have a work item created trigger, for instance, and you want the agent to work on that specific work item, I would always take the issue key as a smart value and put it into the prompt, because it doesn't actually pull any context automatically. And sometimes it makes sense to give it more specific information. So let's say the description or some custom fields and things like that, to just make sure that it has the information that it needs rather than relying on Rovo to pull the correct information. That answer is sort of based on experiences half a year ago. I'd argue that Rovo knows more about stuff and has more skills now, that you don't necessarily have to provide all that information, but it certainly makes it more reliable if you just give it in the prompt rather than Rovo having to search for it.
All right. We've got one more question. I really like this one from mobile chat. Thank you for sticking in there, Charlene. Why would you make an agent as an assignee? Don't you need a human to be accountable for the output?
Yeah. So there's an important distinction. You have agents in Jira, which is already GA, where you can assign agents onto Jira work items, and you will get a specific window where you see the actions it would take, and you actually have to confirm those actions. It will be the same if you put them right into the workflow. There's always going to be a step where humans actually confirm the actions. Autonomous agents work from automations. So that's a different thing. It's not I assign this issue to an agent, but rather I act on a specific trigger and then have an agent work autonomously. But yes, in the end, a person should be accountable for what the AI does. So testing becomes more and more important, I would say. And then also making sure that the agent owner is accountable for the outputs of that specific agent. So that's sort of half policy and then half how you actually use it, I would say.
And I do like that, because many folks with technology just assume the technical controls will do everything, when really we need governance and policy to make sure folks understand appropriate use.
Yeah.
So even though some things are possible, we agree not to do them, or even though it works this way, we agree to back it up and double check.
Yeah.
We tend to, I feel we tend to look too much at the technical control, the bells and whistles in the tool to solve that,
Yeah.
which is not enough.
Yeah. So I would recommend to everyone to have an extensive Rovo usage policy that ideally is based on an existing AI usage policy or AI strategy or whatever you call it in your company, especially because there are no technical controls for a lot of things at the moment. But if you just let people do what they want until you have these controls, then it's going to be difficult explaining to them why they're not allowed to do things a month down the line if they were allowed to begin with. So yeah.
All right. We have like 1 minute left. Can we answer this in a minute, Rebecca?
Yeah. Let's say the different results on each run. Why does this happen? Well, it uses Gen AI, so it uses different models, and it is in the nature of these large language models that they do not give the same reply every time. And then also, if you use chat, it may be a different model each time, even though it should decide on the prompt and the input data. I would not guarantee that it's the same model answering each time, because it may be that one model is cheaper at the moment or things like that. I'm not quite sure how they control it at the moment. For Rovo agents, there should be one and the same model answering every time, because there's a specific model used in agents at all times.
That was something that was new to me. Like chat will rotate through the different models, And that's why you get the variance, which to me is interesting. It's like talking to different people that get different answers, but there's a model for the agent, so we can expect more consistency.
Yeah, but still, it's still large language models. So similar to when you chat to ChatGPT, you will not get the same answer only because you ask the same question.
All right, folks, this is the Rovo Games. Thank you so much, Rebecca, again for joining us. Always love chatting with you and hearing your perspective and sharing the questions with our wonderful audience.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Any parting shots, or shall we just let people go on their way?
Yeah, just make sure you have that usage policy. That's a topic close to my heart. So if you need more information on that, hit me up. But yeah, it's really important to not let Rovo loose, especially as it gets more autonomous every day.
No wild Rovos. All right, folks. Thank you all for joining us in the Rovo Games. Be on the lookout for our next episode in July. And thank you all again. Cheers.
Bye-bye.